After 19 years, we finally have the ending to the M. Night Shyamalan trilogy, which we didn't know was going to be a trilogy until only 4 years ago. Hey guys, my name is Brandon, aka the BrandoCritic, and today I'm going to tell you if Glass is worth a watch. So like I said in the intro, my name is Brandon, and on this channel it's my job to point you in the direction of movies worth checking out. So if that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So in Glass we have Bruce Willis reprising his role as David Dunn, and he runs this home security store with his son, but he also leads a double life as a vigilante superhero because his bones are unbreakable. And when we're introduced to him, we see him trying to find the man responsible for all these teenage girl abductions happening around the city. That man, of course, from Split, is Kevin Wendell Crumb and his 24 personalities, played again masterfully by James McAvoy. After a confrontation between the two, both of them are surrounded by this sort of SWAT team, and they're put into this mental hospital. And at this hospital, we are introduced to the title character, Mr. Glass, also known as Elijah Prince, played again by Samuel L. Jackson, and he's called Mr. Glass because his bones break like toothpicks. And all three of these characters are placed in the same mental hospital by Dr. Ellie Staple, played by Sarah Paulson, because she specializes in people who think they're superheroes. And as the movie goes along, you start to wonder, do these people actually have supernatural abilities, or are they actually insane? Now, how did I come across this movie? Well, I heard about it, and I wanted to see it, so I watched Unbreakable for the first time a couple weeks ago. I watched Split for the first time a couple weeks ago, and now I'm here watching Glass. You know, there's no big, I saw these movies when I was growing up. No, I literally just watched all three of these movies for the first time in the last month. But is Glass worth a watch? It's tough. It's tough because this feels like three distinct movies. The first third is a David Dunn movie. The second third is a Kevin Wendell Crumb movie. And the last third, that sounds better, is a Mr. Glass movie. And they all feel very, very different. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, but the first third really does feel like a sequel to Unbreakable. You know, we have David Dunn and his son, who is the same actor, and you know, it feels like Unbreakable. You know, with the really slow pacing and the dialogue, it just feels like a sequel to Unbreakable, and I was hooked like that. I'm thinking, yes, I'm going to see David Dunn and Kevin Wendell Crumb, or the Beast, fight off against each other, and it's gonna be great. And we do see that. And then they're put into the mental hospital for almost the entire movie. Then it feels like it's a Kevin Wendell Crumb movie, and it does feel like a sequel to Split. And I thought Split was okay. You know, I enjoyed James McAvoy's performance, but then it didn't feel like a sequel to Unbreakable at all. You know, David Dunn was barely in the movie now. And it felt kind of weird because he was so predominantly in the first third, and now he's just gone. And they're just across the hall from each other. But the screen time is going to mostly Kevin and all his personalities. And then the last third is the Glass movie, and it's entertaining. You know, it's fun to see Samuel L. Jackson as the mastermind and pulling the strings. But then again, during this third, there's some pretty questionable decisions, which I don't think a lot of fans are going to be particularly happy with. And then of course there are some twists. There's not just one, there's a couple. I enjoyed one of them, but then the one after that, I'm thinking, okay, like, alright, I get it, but then again, why wasn't this twist the entire movie? You know, I would have much rather had, I won't spoil the twist, but having that as the entire movie and then just not having a twist. I think it would have been a lot more entertaining. Because the pacing of this movie feels kind of uneven. You know, the first third is really exciting and I'm like, yes, I get to see a sequel to Unbreakable. And then the middle is kind of boring. I'm thinking, oh well, I don't really want to see just Kevin talk about his problems and see him go through all the different personalities. I mean, it's great. Trust me, it's great to see all of the personalities inside Kevin's body come to life. But then again, I'm thinking, all right, I'm getting kind of bored. I want there to be something. I want to see something new. I want to see and think new things. And that's where Mr. Glass came in. But at that time, the movie had overstayed its welcome. And a big reason for that, Dr. Ellie Staple. Now, I haven't seen American Horror Story, so I haven't seen Sarah Paulson in, I don't think, anything else. But I don't know if that was just the bad script or if it was bad direction, but I really did not like Sarah Paulson in this movie. And I don't know if it was the M. Night Shyamalan dialogue, which felt really awkward and really unnatural. She seemed like a robot for the entire movie. And I can understand you have like that weird secretary in the mental hospital that no one else likes, but she's not nearly as interesting as any of the three characters, and she's in the movie maybe the most. Like, she has a lot of screen time, and she's just so unnatural and so strange and kind of boring. I could not get into her character. And speaking about being unnatural, man, I felt like Bruce Willis just did not care. First of all, he was barely in the movie, but when he was on screen, it looked like he wanted to be anywhere else. But on the other hand, by far the best part of this movie was James McAvoy's performance. He is incredible. And it's so awesome to see James McAvoy switch between all the different personalities. And there are a couple scenes in this movie where nothing actually happens story-wise. It's just kind of like a blank slate to be like, all right, James, show us what you got. As many personalities as you can. You know, let's get you as a white girl who's kind of flirtatious. Let's get you as a Texan. Let's get you as some like New York designer guy. Let's make you Hedwig again. You know, any personality you want, let's see it. And James McAvoy can switch between them so frickin' well. And then of course we have Samuel L. Jackson, and you know, he's great in everything that he does, and it's really awesome to hear him speak about like, I'd really love to meet the beast. And it just, his maniacal way of speaking, it's great. But then again, a movie titled Glass, you'd expect him to be in it more. If the whole movie was him talking like that and doing this whole mastermind plan and like escaping from the mental asylum and bringing, you know, David and Kevin together, kind of like a Batman versus Superman type of thing, like I want to see the showdown, maybe not Batman versus Superman level, but you know, I feel like that would have been really great. But we don't really get that until the last third, and then by that point I'm thinking, alright guys, you know, I'm getting kind of bored of watching Dr. Ellie Staples just state the obvious with this really unnatural dialogue. And it's like, if she was sitting right here, talking about this movie with you guys, she would be like, hi, I'm Dr. Ellie Staple, and you are a YouTube user looking at your smartphone or your laptop, watching a review for Glass. Is there anything better to do with your time, instead of just watching me on this chair, with this light, with this camera, and this microphone, and just stating the obvious? And it's just annoying. It's so unnatural, I don't like seeing it. I can't get invested in a movie where that is the main focus. And that was my biggest problem with this movie. It was just kind of lackluster, with very strange, weird, unnatural dialogue. And especially at the end, it kind of got like Enchanted, whereas they're trying to be clever by, you know, stating the obvious in terms of being meta. You know, in Enchanted it's like, so we come to the end of our story and oh, will the hero live happily ever after? You know, talking like movie speak. In Glass we have that too, like, this is the showdown, you know, this is where the villain reveals his master plan. Okay, we get it. It's hard to explain. It's so on the nose and you're thinking, okay, well, like, it's not clever for you to state the obvious. Instead of being sucked into the story, the weird dialogue took me out of the movie, and I'm thinking, okay, M. Night, why this line? Why are these characters speaking like this? Whereas I should be immersed in David Dunn's story with Mr. Glass and Kevin Wendell Crumb. But we don't really get any of that. We get a Dr. Ellie Staple movie, a character that is so unnatural and so unlikable that the movie ends up being just pretty boring. So all in all, I'm gonna give Glass a 2 out of 5. I was anticipating this movie and there were some good parts in it. I mean, James McAvoy and Samuel L. Jackson, they have this great chemistry, and it's so awesome to see Samuel L. Jackson, you know, being the mastermind and being the puppet master, and then James McAvoy just going throughout all these different personalities. But yeah, we gotta put in Dr. Ellie Staple with her boring dialogue. We gotta bring back Anya Taylor-Joy from Split, and I'm like, what's she doing here? You know, I don't think she's really needed in a movie like this. And then we have Glass's mom, and then we have David Dunn's son, and again, it just doesn't feel right. And I know in M. Night Shyamalan's you're supposed to feel a bit uneasy, but in this movie I'm constantly questioning the decisions made by the filmmakers as opposed to really being invested in the story. And unfortunately, I couldn't enjoy this movie as much as I wanted to. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and I want to ask you, out of the 3 movies in the M. Night trilogy, what is your favorite? I'm gonna have to go with Unbreakable for me. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.